1. Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm gonna squeeze in kind of a new series here where I play some video games and talk while I'm doing it. Some of you may have noticed the Olympics are going on. I'm kind of a fan of the Olympics. I'm a big fan of the Summer Olympics, especially track and field. I'm a big fan of, I like the weightlifting. I'll watch the diving. I'll watch some gymnastics. I'll watch a lot of it. But mainly, I'm there for the badminton. Aside from dodgeball, badminton is my favorite sport. I'm much better at dodgeball than I actually am at badminton, but I like to play badminton even if I'm your quintessential amateur white guy at it. But I like to follow badminton a lot, especially high-level badminton, because in the recent years of YouTube and the internet and streaming and such, you can actually follow the tournaments from all around the world as they happen. So I've been doing that, and I've been getting more and more into badminton over like the last 6 years, say, like since the last Olympics and just a little bit before. So there's a bit of drama going on. Drama? I don't know how you want to say it. There's some drama with the Olympic badminton. There's two players in particular, Lin Dan and Chong Wei, who were the last two Olympics in a row, so 8 years, they've been the gold and the silver medal finalist. And Lin Dan is probably the most decorated badminton player ever. Like his win-loss record is ridiculous. Like he's more than the Michael Jordan of badminton. Like if you were to actually add up how many times he has demolished people, he's far ahead of your usual like sports superstar. But oddly enough, another badminton player, Chong Wei of Malaysia, Lin Dan of China, Chong Wei is maybe the best badminton player of all time, but the best badminton player that chokes when he needs to not choke. So historically, their matchups, Lin Dan and Chong Wei, are slanted towards Lin Dan. He typically wins the matches that they play against each other, especially in the Olympics, at any like crucial moments. But these two guys, they're a year apart in age. They're 33, I think, and 34. Like 1983 and 1982 is their birth years. So they're getting up there for badminton stars. But these two guys have been in more finals together than I think any sports duo ever. To a point where they're almost like they're arch enemies, but they're pretty friendly about it now. They've just been at it for so long. It must be nice to have such good competition. Like I'm sure these two have brought up the best in each other. So here we go. The Olympics on Friday morning at 4 a.m. in the West Coast time. These two warriors of badminton are they're going up head-to-head in the semifinals. Lin Dan had kind of a slow year. He wasn't trying to crush the tournaments all year. That's how you get seeding for the Olympics, I'm pretty sure. So he didn't finish in first place like he typically had that's the thing. Chong Wei always finishes first place, but he loses the main tournaments. So he wins more, but he loses the crucial ones. That's kind of the way it goes. Lin Dan was kind of taking it easy, I guess, this year. Like I said, they're getting up there in age, but Chong Wei was just coming off of a huge injury he had with his Achilles heel or something, some leg injury he had. I can't remember. He fell down on the court one day, and then he got suspended for I think 6 months through like taking supplements or something that he shouldn't have. It wasn't a full suspension, so I'm not sure what the deal was there, but he did have to deal with the suspension, I guess, to get everything out of his system, whatever. So he had to play catch-up. So he played every tournament this year, even if it was like Britain's Junior Open, blah, blah, blah. Like Chong Wei was in a lot of tournaments you didn't always see him in, just crushing people. So he went through his ups and downs getting back, but he's looking better than he ever has. And that's why I say he's probably the best player of all time if you think about physicality. But then we have Lin Dan, who's not necessarily a physical player. He was in the 2004 Olympics, that's for sure. Or 2 Olympics ago, whenever that was. 2008? I can't remember. Yeah, 2008. He was a very physical player then, but he's actually refined his play style a lot since then. And now he plays more of, he's conservative in the way he doesn't waste any steps. Every single movement he does on the court, there's no excess steps. You see a lot of younger new players, they'll take extra steps than they need to, and that's how you end up getting an advantage on the court by having to expend more energy and movement. So Lin Dan is like a masterclass in human movement. So he's really hard to deal with because he's also really good at placing his shots, and he's good at returning hard shots as well. So he's an all-around amazing player, and so you get kind of like the finesse player versus the physical player in Lin Dan versus Chong Wei. So what I want to do today, in honor of this semifinals match coming out tomorrow, which I guess, I'm going to try to get this video up on Thursday, so on Friday morning, these two warriors are going head-to-head, and there's a game for the NES, or I guess the Famicom, called Super Dyna'Mix Badminton. This is probably one of my favorite sports games of all time. It's this and Tecmo Super Bowl, but I can say without question this is the best badminton simulation that has ever existed. And it's all done with 2 buttons and an NES controller. And I feel confident in that because I've played enough badminton and I've watched enough badminton to know the subtleties of how you play and how the game works. And this game is remarkably accurate to sort of badminton mind games and how you play, and the AI is really, really good. The final boss in this game is Team China, and they're without a doubt one of the hardest final bosses in a video game ever. I remember playing this on emulation when Nesticle was a thing, and I remember being like, no one in the world can ever beat Team China. That's just crazy, because I could barely score a point on them. They would just annihilate me. So, you know, years later, I finally found a copy on eBay, and I've been playing it a lot on emulation all these years, but finally found a copy, and over the years I finally got good enough to beat Team China consistently, because, like I said, there's a lot of finesse with these controls that I didn't know at the time. So, what I'm going to do today is play Team China. Let's get this going here. Got some graphics here. Yeah! Oh, yeah! Yeah, here we go. So this is kind of a goofy game. But I'm going to play against Team China as the default team, which by default just kind of looks like Team Malaysia. Here, I'll show you what I mean. See, we got Team Japan here, which is the default team, but let's just pretend, for kicks and giggles, that this is actually Chong Wei of Malaysia, because he's worn yellow before. In fact, I think last Olympics, or the Olympics before, he was famously wearing a sort of brown and yellow outfit. So I like picturing this as Chong Wei over here that I'm controlling, and Lin Dan as Team China. So here we go. I'm going to actually play Team China straight through right now. Not going for a speed run, not going for a world record here, but I'm just going to play this game in honor of these two warriors in 8-bit form. So enjoy. And sorry if there's any swears that come out of my mouth while I'm playing. Sometimes this game brings out the worst in me, so don't judge me too harshly. Oh, jeez. Jeez. Gotcha. See, when you're doing like these kind of drop shots, you kind of have to walk forward at the same time and finesse the button. Like I've got the camera here so you can see like what I'm doing. So a drop shot like that takes like a little roll across, like really light. And if you can't jump, oh geez, oh man, he blew it. If you can't jump to do the drop shot, then you have to walk forward a bit. And I'll maybe show you coming up if the cards line up. Oh geez. Hey! Oh! No. When I get a break, I'll show you some of like, geez, what's been going on here. So when you actually push the button to swing like that, you freeze in place. You can't move while you're holding that button down. So the longer you hold it, it seems like the harder the shot will go. Nice. So that's the hit button, so you can hold that down and you stand in place, and if the birdie comes anywhere near you, you'll automatically hit it back. But the thing is, you have to hold that button down before the birdie is done moving, so you have to kind of get where you think it's going to go and then hold the button down. But the other button is a jump button, and with the jump button, you can hold down the button to do the hit, but you can hit the jump button at any point and you'll jump and automatically hit it, and the jump automatically hit tends to go a little faster. But then we get the directions. When you hit, for some reason, if I hit, like when he returns it back to me, if I hit down and right, it hits it towards the back left court. And the only way I can picture that is like you're kind of leaning into it almost. But there's this really intuitive feel to that. So if he returns it to me right, I'll show you how I'm going to hit it to the back left corner, kind of where he's standing now. Oh, he didn't return it properly. Alright, here we go. See, I went to the back left there instead of the back bottom, even though I hit down and right. Little drop shot, nice. See, those drop shots, they require so much finesse. That's why I couldn't beat Team China for the longest time. So when you want, oh geez, when you want to hit it kind of sharp to the top or bottom of the screen, you have to get either, oh shoot, in front or like above or below where the birdie's going to be. So I'm going to be below it. I'm going to be, shoot, above it here. And it just kind of, it changes the direction where the birdie's going to go. So your movement changes the birdie, like where you're standing. The amount of time you hold the button down determines how hard it's going to be. And whether you're moving forward or backward changes. If you hit backward, this is going to suck, but it goes up. See, even that little shot I did that just barely went over the net there, like you have to just feather the button. The longer you hold it down, it changes how hard it's going to go. So that's why I'm very impressed by how nuanced this control scheme is for such an old game, and the fact that there hasn't been another badminton game since this one, it's pretty insane. They got it right the first time. Ooh, nice save. So sometimes you jump and you realize you're not in the right spot, so you have to reset yourself. Hey, geez. Nice. See, that was a tough one. That's a tough one to return, because if you play this game on your own, oh geez, in emulation, you'll notice how easily those shots just go right into the net. So getting it over the net properly requires like moving forward in this really delicate manner. Ah, you lucky bum. Ah, jeez. Yes. Ah, jeez. Nice, he didn't go for the smash there. Ah, and I capitalized. So this is, I should also mention, using old badminton rules, where you had to be serving to get a point. They've actually changed that in Olympic badminton, or professional badminton. It's not like that anymore, where, ah, jeez, if you push forward, you're just going to hit it right into the net, but you have to jump and hit forward if you want it to go decent. So now what badminton does is you just get a point based on if you win the rally or not, so it doesn't matter who's serving. Okay. Nice. See, I'm doing pretty good here. This is not bad. China's not really pushing me too hard yet. It gets a little harder when I'm on the other side because the angle, if you'll notice, like the graphics here, they're not it's not perfectly parallel. It's this side's a little angled and that side's more angled. So I think they also, here we go. Smash. If you do a jump shot when it pops up like that, you get the smash. I think they simulate kind of the drift that happens from a birdie as well, like in certain courts. Sometimes the wind will take a birdie further or shorter, and that's a problem for a lot of players. It can be a problem. I like just giving him a little serve off the start. Oh man, I blew it, and I recovered. Nice. Oh jeez, he's gonna kill me. Nice. It's being very merciful. I'm gonna keep the drop shots going here until he sets me up. There we go. Gotcha. So there's a thing in badminton, when you get to 11 points, that's the first break, and you usually get a drink of water or whatever, but it's a really psychological thing for the players. First 1 to 12 is kind of like a big psychological shot. So you always want to be the first one to, 11, not 12. So let's see if I pull it off. Jeez, China's wussing out here. Lin Dan, let's bring it. I built you up, now you're just not bringing it. Alright. And, Coach. How am I doing, Coach? And it's also the time when the coach can talk to you. So, I've got a diet root beer here. I'm just gonna drink this. First to 11. This is a crushing, by the way. Since badminton is now, rally-based, you win a point off the rally. The scores are always way closer as a result, so you don't usually see an 11-2 unless it's an absolute crushing. And speaking of absolute crushing, in the quarterfinals, which we just had yesterday, I stayed up till like 8 in the morning watching all 4 quarterfinals. Chong Wei was playing against Chao Tian Shen and annihilated him. This is a young, up-and-coming player, and he just smashed him. And it was almost a score like 11-2 by the time they got to this. So it was impressive to see Chong Wei in such good form. Lin Dan, on the other hand, he was having a lot of trouble against Srikant Kadambi, who's I think a player from India. who's another up-and-coming young player as well. Super athletic, super agile. He beat the crap out of him in the first set that they played, but in the second one, Srikanth was like almost dominating, and then the third one was an all-out war, super close game. So Lindan almost lost, but because he won now, the semifinals is going to be this game we're watching right now. Oh, perfect shot, perfect shot. Oh, jeez. No, he's on the advantage now. See, he crushed me there. So a big thing here, when you're returning a shot, is you want to look and see if the computer opponent is in the center line or not. If he's below the center line, you usually have a chance to hit it to the top left. So you would do that, hold down left or bottom, down and right, to hit it sharp in one side. But it's hard to see where he is on the center line and still make sure you're where the birdie is going to go at the same time. Like your eyes have to dart around. So I don't get to pull that up. Ah, I blew it. He floated one over me. See, he's on the top there, so I tried to hit it low. Oh! Nice. Flubbed it. I gave him too much juice. So that's one thing that was really hard when I didn't know the controls for this game, is how do you hit it hard? And that's the thing, you have to hold the button down to then jump, and you hit it way harder as a result. Oh, floater. Sheesh. At least he's not getting points here. So I noticed with the drop shots, like this one here, you kind of need to jump first before you hit the button. Ah, geez, too much feather. Instead of hit the hit button first before you jump. So you need to roll it kind of the other way. Nice shot. So there you go. Like there's even two ways you can, if you hit this button first, then that one, you do a hard shot. If you hit that one first, then that one, and feather it the other way, you do a drop shot. And a drop shot of is, of course, when you try and drop it as close to the net as possible. Oh, what? PU, Lindan. I love you. You're one of the best athletes of all time, but man alive, giving you a spanking here. So, yeah, these two guys aren't going to play for gold and silver like they did the last two Olympics in a row, which is kind of a shame, but... Excuse me. Rudy. It's awesome that, oh man, they only played at 15? Alright, that's better for me, because that means I just won. On the other side of the tournament bracket, you have, Shen Long from China as well, and Victor Axelsen, who are the two favorites to win. They were both in their own quarterfinal things, not against each other, but Shen Long is another player from China that has been world #1 for the last couple of years in a row since Li Chong Wei and Lindan had kind of slowed down in their dominance. Nice. But he's a really good player as well, but he's young, and he lacks kind of that composure under pressure. But he's super talented, he's super tall too, so he's able to return things, and even though he's got hard shots, he plays a very conservative style, kind of like Lindan, where he's waiting for the shot. He's not going to take he's not going to be explosive. Badminton's not like an explosive sport where people are trying to be all aggressive and stuff, because if you take an aggressive shot and the guy returns it, you're in a severe disadvantage after that. Oh, what? So you don't see a lot of like super aggressive players anymore, because they will lose a lot, and oh my god. That's why a lot of the guys in the high level, they need to play very smart instead of very aggressive. Smash! So he played against a player from Korea who I'd never heard of before, that had a really good game plan against him. It was, jeez, Rudy. He played against a player from Korea that didn't have hard offense at all. He wasn't a very offensive player, but he was a really good like net play. Net play is when you do the little tiny drop shot when you're right up against the net and you just barely fluff it over. He was doing that, and he had this sort of cycle that he would do, and he would never take a chance, and he kind of forced Shenlong to keep playing until he took the chance where he took a hard shot to try and get a goal, or sorry, you can tell I'm from Canada because this is my terminology, a point. So, sorry, just lost myself there. Top right, bottom left. Oh, I'm blowing it. So yeah, that game actually lasted for 90 minutes because it was all rally. Oh, what? Shoot. Yes. most games don't last more than 40 minutes. So that was a 90-minute game, so that was an incredible war of attrition, but ultimately he lost to Shenlong. So Shenlong moving on to the semifinals on the other side of the bracket, and Victor Axelsen is the player from Denmark, who's even taller than Shenlong. So you got all the tall guys on the other side. Nice, I barely got that. Victor Axelsen is the only player going into these finals. Well, Chong Wei is a very aggressive player too, but he's athletic, so I don't necessarily call it aggressive, but Victor Axelsen is the closest thing to an aggressive player, even though he plays a lot of finesse as well. But he's a big man, and he can play those hard shots, so Victor Axelsen kind of coasted to victory in his series against the Britain player, who I'd also never heard of. Ooh, nice. So, Victor Axelsen is now going up against Shenlong, and they have had quite a war. There was a game they had earlier in the season. Whoa! Nice. I think I stopped him from smashing by moving up. Oh man, China is blowing it. What was I saying? Yeah, they had a match that, in order to win now, the games go up to 21. And you need to at least win by 2 points if you guys are tied. So if you're both at 20 and the guy gets to 21, you actually have to get to 22 to 20 to actually win. So there was a game they had earlier this year that went to like 30, I think. Like they both kept getting a point, then the other guy got a point, and they kept ratcheting up all the way to 30. Like it was a crazy game. So these guys are very evenly matched in terms of like they can return things that just should not be able to be returned because they're so tall. But Victor Axelsen is... takes more chances. He's willing to take more chances, which at this high level might serve to his benefit because these other guys, they're feeling the burn from playing all the games. Lindan had to play a 3-set match, or 3-match set? I don't know how they say it, but he had to play 3 games against Srikanth Kadambi, so that was a long game for him, and he's getting up there in age, so his recovery time is much lower. Shenlong played that 90-minute match, so he's probably just burning up. His legs are probably on fire. So a lot of people don't know because they haven't played, but high-level singles badminton, it's like a workout all over. You have to be like... it's kind of like you have to be good at moving your arm in like a throwing manner, so you have to be almost a pitcher, but you also have to have like these legs of a soccer player and this agility of like a dancer. Like you need to have like... It's kind of a well-rounded sport. You need to be a good athlete to play at high-level badminton, especially singles badminton, because you're constantly moving and trying to minimize how much you move. So the only guy, Victor Axelsen, coming in and playing against Shenlong, he might be able to take this game from him because he's going to play aggressively, maybe, and Shenlong's going to maybe be pretty tired. And he cut his hand, I think, during the game too, so that's going to be a factor as well. So I'm thinking Chong Wei might edge out Lindan in their game. Hold on, I think my camera just ran out of batteries, even though I have it plugged in. Alright, gonna pause this. We'll be right back. Alright, hey everyone, welcome back. Turns out the card was full. My bad. So here we go. Back in action. Get that out of the way. So I got 11 here. Time to cool down with a refreshing root brewdy. You put it in the freezer for 15 minutes. That's how you get it cold. Alright, this is a crushing as well. On my bad side, by the way. Here we go. I guess it doesn't really make sense to stop at 11 now that... Ooh, you. Now that we only played at 15. Whoa. Sorry, just had a brain drain there. Aw, Chong Wei, why? I'm gonna try something here. When you hold the button down for a long time and then do a jump right at the last second, you get kind of a hard shot. Oh! See, that shot that I just did is the hardest shot to do in this game because it's all feel. You have to walk forward just a bit and feather the button. It's the strangest thing, but it feels so... like... Nice. Got a little lucky there. It feels like it should. I don't know how to explain it. Damn, I can't believe he won that. Nice. Nice. See how I got under the birdie a bit before I hit it up? So it went even sharper. When you're on this side, hitting up and left will make it go to the top right of the court, so it's kind of... I'm not sure. It's not the mirror image of being on the other side, but whatever. Like, oh! Alright, game point. Game point. What was I trying to say? Nope, I've already forgotten it. I've plumb forgot about it. Game point though, here we go. Game's chugging a bit, not sure why. Ooh, here we go, good save. Oh. Alright, drop shot, finish it. Shit. Sorry, my language. And that's it, Chong Wei. Oh, wait, no. Still thinking like their rules. Ah, jeez. See, that's what I get for getting too excited. It is customary in badminton when you score a point to send the birdie to the other side. Or, if you're scored on, you send the birdie to the other guy. Bottom left. Top right. Oh, wait, still got a point to go. Alright, here we go. Ooh. Alright, too close. Drop shot. Drop shot. There you go. He's going on to the gold medal match, which I think will be against Victor Axelsen. That's my prediction. We'll see. So that's it. That's kind of... There's a season mode in the game too where you can pick to play against a couple other teams. There's a couple other coats here, which I don't... Right, that's what I was going to bring up. I don't know what this... Well, what are coats? I think they mean court. Excuse me. Gosh, it's gross. Root beer. Don't drink on camera. Let's check it out. Team Canada's the first team in the game. They suck. They will only ever do that shot back to you. They won't do a drop shot. They won't do a smash. The teams get more and more moves kind of in their repertoire as they go up, and then Team China has all the moves. But that was pretty too easy. So yeah, they have all these coats here, which I don't know what they are, but they're different stadiums and they're different outdoor stadiums. And I think they have different mechanics, so I'm going to just try one real quick. This will be kind of a fun little review on the game too, along with a history lesson on the upcoming history of this Olympics. So this one's an outdoor court, and I swear the birdie moves slower, but Team China plays faster, or something. Like, watch their first shot. It's going to be like an aggressive shot. Well, I'm still going to score a point on you. Ooh, yeah, you blew it on that one. You can't bring that. I'll do it all day, Team China. Man, I would love it if there was like a professional tournament scene for this game. I want to know what it's like, geez, to play against other humans who are this good, or like this understanding of the game. So yeah, that's what I was going to bring up. The coat thing, the whole coat thing, and the whole way the controls in this game, like I had to learn them just by playing this game a lot, because I actually like badminton a lot, and I could see that this game was well made, and I wanted to get better at it, so I've been playing it for like 12 years or more. I don't know what the controls are. I've actually wanted to find a manual for it on the internet in Japanese, and just have anyone I know that speaks Japanese translate it for me, because they have to explain some of this stuff in the manual, but alas, I've downloaded the entire NES manual PDF library, and it wasn't in there, and you know, just it's a game that, you know, a lot of people don't talk about, but it's so weird that it is seriously one of the best sports games ever. This is exactly what badminton is like. It feels as close to badminton as any like new game could. And it does it without needing to have special moves or weird stuff in it. Oh man, I'm crushing them here. Alright, maybe I was wrong about this court. I always thought this was a more difficult court. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. Sometimes China is like too good for their own good. So what I'm gonna do is just quickly now. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but that was just too quick. I don't think I gave you a good showing. Let's play Korea real quick. Let's say Lee Chong Wei plays Korea. Korea doesn't necessarily do a lot of smashes, like jump smashes, but they will do a lot of hard shots and drop shots. So, like that shot he gave me there, I would consider a hard shot. But historically, Korea is a harder team for me to play than China, just because I don't know, they play a little smarter. So when I wanted to do a speed run for this game, but for the longest time, you needed to play it in real life. That's why I bought the real version. You needed to record it on real hardware, or else they wouldn't count it. I don't know if that's still the case, but I kind of lost interest in wanting to do that. But I bought this real cart, but then you also need some DVD burner thing or something. It was just way too much hassle, and I didn't want to record it on VHS because then they don't make a very good rip. So yeah, that's where it left me. But I used to speedrun this game, and I could beat the whole game in... I could never beat it in under a half an hour, but it was always very close to a half an hour. So going from Team Canada to Team Britain to Team Korea to Team China, I could do that in almost under half an hour. Yeah, that's basically Super Dyna'Mix Badminton, and getting a little hype for the upcoming Olympic match here. Semifinals, Friday, 4 in the morning. We're gonna see some magic here. Lin Dan and Chong Wei, who both may retire after this. This might be the last time they play each other professionally, so... And this is a rivalry to end all rivalries. Like, very few sports. Jordan versus Bird, they didn't play each other one-on-one this much. Like, this is like, imagine in UFC if McGregor and Diaz had like 60 fights, you know, and one of them was more often winning against the other player, but the other guy had a higher win rate because he would fight other guys and win them too, or win those fights as well. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun night of staying up waiting for that one. I watched the last Olympics. I stayed up and watched that too, and it went down to the last couple points then. And so we'll see what happens here. If you decide to watch it, just a little history. The last Olympics, I can actually close this. Here we go. The last Olympics, I think it was close. It was like both players were around 16 or 17, and there was a shot that Chong Wei thought was going out to the back court, and he let it hit because he thought it was going to be out, and it was in. And there was a visible change in his posture after that. His demeanor was changed after that. I think that got in his head, and it was right after that Lin Dan took that energy, because you can tell when things like that happen, and he just took it and ran with it and ended up winning the game. But it looked like it was Chong Wei's game up till then. And some more history. I think, if I remember correctly, Malaysia has never won a gold medal at the Olympics before, and Chong Wei is the one that's come the closest, and he's done it 2 Olympics in a row. So this could be Malaysia's first chance at a gold medal. So there's a lot riding on it. And the thing about Chong Wei that is admirable is that he's the best player in Malaysia. I'm sure there's other good players. I don't know their names. The doubles team is good too. He's the best player in Malaysia, but to win any tournament, he almost always has to go through 2, if not 3, amazing Chinese players. So in this tournament, he's got to beat Lin Dan and then potentially beat Shen Long for the gold. So he always has to double time. He has to work twice as hard to get that gold medal. So you have to admire the things he's been through. He's been through an injury that he had to get like stem cell surgery for it. It was like I guess that's the one thing. The Malaysian country definitely puts their support behind Chong Wei. So they got him hooked up with the good stuff, stem cells. So he was able to come back really quickly. But whatever he was taking for recovery, I guess, was a banned substance. That's a whole wacky world too, the world of banned substance. It's not as cut and dry as maybe it was before, because they're cracking down on it in ways now where, you know, things can be banned suddenly, and you still have it in your system from taking it before it was banned. So, you know, it's not necessarily a perfect science, but it's the best they got, I guess. So, you know, you can't fault them for giving people suspensions, but it's nice that, like, you don't give them lifetime bans, or like there's no Lance Armstrong stuff going on here, because Lance Armstrong, I think I heard somewhere on the Joe Rogan podcast that, and sorry, I'm going off on a stupid tangent here, but they took his championship away, and they had to give it to the next highest player that wasn't on banned substances, and I think it went down to like someone in the tens. So like the top 10 people were all on substances. So, you know, they're all taking something to try and give them an advantage, and sometimes it's something that's a banned substance, I guess, and it's hard to tell what is or isn't. But that's it. That's Super Dyna'Mix Badminton. I'm glad I finally got this done, because I've been wanting to show people this game, because I want that tournament to happen. I would love that. And also to drum people up on the excitement of Friday's game. So check it out. Your whatever country you're in, they probably have their own government-funded Olympic streaming website. So in Canada, I think it's CBC website, and I'm sure it's NBC in the States or something. But other than that, I'm sure Britain has their own, and there's probably a whole European thing. But just check it out. It's going to be early in the morning for us colonists from in the colonies. That's my prediction. Lee Chong Wei, Victor Axelsen, gold medal match. Lee Chong Wei getting the first gold medal of his career, and probably maybe the first gold medal of Malaysia's career at the Olympics. So check that out. Thanks for watching. Goodbye, everyone.
Hey, thanks for watching this video. We'll see you guys next time. Feel free to subscribe to this channel.